Hi, I'm Brian Levy. I'm a partner at Manchester Living and the host of the Manchester Living podcast. The purpose of the podcast is to help people navigate the complex maze of elder care. There's an elder care lexicon on our website at manchesterliving.com. Today's new and noteworthy is an inspirational clip. Let's roll the tape.
How you doing, Mom? Good.
Oh, hi.
Love you.
Hi.
Oh, so good. So handsome. Still got it.
Thank you, baby. Oh, you remind me of my husband.
All right, how's that for a tearjerker? When life throws you a curveball, you must adapt, and love wins. So I love that clip. Anyways, I'm excited to have on the show today my friend, mentor, colleague, and drinking partner, Joe Alch, Executive Director of Pajamas for Seniors and Clinical Liaison for Senior Living Specialists. Welcome today.
I am honored to be here.
And Allison Byrd, Executive Director of Heavenly Mimi and an LVN.
Yes.
Thank you both for being here. Let's jump in. Today we're talking about giving back to the elderly community. It's not uncommon for nonprofits to get all sorts of exposure during the holiday season. I'm glad that you guys are on today, pre-holiday. My commitment is to do it again in July so we can keep the ball rolling. So thank you both for being here today. Let's start with Allison. How did you start Heavenly Mimi, and what is your mission statement?
So I started Heavenly Mimi 7 years ago. Our mission statement is just to make a difference in lives of cancer patients from 0 to 99, any type of cancer. We want to help them with expenses like gas cards, hotel stays, medical bills, preventions, mammograms. I started because my mom lost her battle 10 years ago with cancer, and I always wanted to do something in memory of her because she was such a great person when my son 22 years ago was going through cancer and survived. So I just wanted to bless people because people blessed me along the way 22 years ago when I was struggling.
So this is a real pay it forward.
Very big, yes.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Joe, tell me about Pajamas for Seniors
Well,
and your mission.
My mission, when I was a little girl, my grandmother, my brother and sister and I would stay at my grandmother's on Saturdays. And our order of business, we'd have breakfast and then we would go to area nursing homes. And I was so touched by these sweet little people. There was one nursing home in particular. I was 6 years old. It was called the Home for the Incurables. And it touched my heart. These people had nothing. They had no family. They were wards of the state in New Orleans. And they had nothing. They had no pajamas. They had white sheets, a white hospital gown. The nurses wore white. I just remember this in the 60s. There was no air condition, no pictures by their bed, no teddy bears, no flowers. It had such an impact on me that I became a nurse. 25 years later, I became a hospice nurse, and I was assigned to nursing home patients because I didn't have the experience I needed to be in the home setting. Here I was, I had 15 nursing home patients, no family. I would call the family to give a report. I would never get a call back. Patient might pass. The family wouldn't come to say goodbye to their loved one. So I was seeing a modern day Home for the Incurables right here in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
So I knew I needed to make a difference. I knew something needed to change. I've been giving pajamas since I was a nurse 25 years ago, but my nonprofit, Pajamas for Seniors, we became official, a 501c3 in 2018, and to date, we have distributed 33,000 pairs of pajamas to area nursing homes.
That's
it's amazing.
Wow,
It's
that's
amazing.
outstanding.
So our mission statement is providing pajamas, just making a difference in the lives of a senior one pajama at a time.
One pajama at a time. So what are your annual goals and what are you doing to achieve them?
So the goal is Christmas this year, our goal is to give out 7,500 pairs of pajamas. We have already this week given out about 750 pairs. It's a huge task, but I know we can do it. Just in Dallas County, there's 16,000 nursing home and assisted living residents. Of those, probably 80% have nobody. On Christmas Day, they have skeleton staff, families home celebrating with their families. They're not there in nursing homes. So, the goal is that all these sweet little seniors will be able to wear pajamas on Christmas Eve in their home.
Right. Love it. Allison, what are your goals and what are you doing to achieve them?
So my goals for 2022, since we have been established 7 years, of course, we are only in the state of Texas. Our goals is to become more regional, so like expand to Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas. So that's our goal for 2022 going into 2023.
Outstanding.
Thanks.
Great. What are the main obstacles do you stand between you and your mission, and how do you plan to overcome them, Allison?
I think, like Joe, COVID hit all nonprofits, and so it's financial. So if we don't have the financial backing, we're not able to help people. So that's definitely a hardship, and we both overcame it. We just need to have people that still want to be part of our mission and just get our names out there to, spread the word.
And, I love Heavenly Mimi just as a nurse. There have just been so many families that I know that are affected, and they're having so much trouble getting their loved one to the doctor or just being with them while they have chemo because they've got to go to work.
Right.
And I love what you do. Same here, though, for us, it's grants. There are no grants for seniors for anything tangible other than something like Meals on Wheels.
Right.
Seniors in nursing homes get $2 a day. There is no way that will pay for a pair of pajamas. There's no way. So just little simple things, they can't get Dr. Pepper, they can't get socks, they can't get snacks that they want. They can't get lotions or a special toothpaste for sensitive gums.
Right.
Just simple things that people don't think about. And so it's funding. We need money. We desperately need money. When we go to a nursing home, we provide sizes extra small all the way to 7X. Those 7X are very hard to find and they're expensive.
Right.
So we can't just give to the people that are small, medium, large that have been donated. So that's our big obstacle is finances.
Sure.
We need
And I
money.
didn't realize that until I met you, that there was such a crisis, them not having pajamas. I just assumed everyone had pajamas.
But you think about, wearing a hospital gown when you might have to have an outpatient surgery or dental procedure. You have to have a tooth pulled or
I
something.
hate it.
Me too.
I'll be honest with
It
you.
sucks. But you would put on one of those gowns, and if somebody ties it for you, like I don't like to feel choked.
Right.
No.
But if somebody has dementia, they can't tell you. They
Right.
might do this or they might yell, but you don't know that they're
Right.
saying, you know what, it's too tight around my neck. And think about your arms. Like I'm 60 years old. I'm really self-conscious of my arms. I wouldn't want to be in a pajama that's sleeveless, like for people to see my arms. And then my behind. Who wants to see
elder
my
vanity.
behind?
Right.
Elder
It
vanity.
is elder
Right.
vanity.
I
I mean, how
understand that.
embarrassing. So give these people some dignity and give them some pajamas. Come on, people. It's,
Right.
you
That's
know.
wonderful.
Sleep comfortably.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not just sleep. A lot of elderly people and young people lounge in their bed. Well, you're not
Yes.
going to lounge in a pair of blue jeans in your bed. So,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a
Absolutely.
hospital gown.
how do you measure the effectiveness of your charity?
I measure by the conversations I have with the sweet little patients that I meet. And I have to share. Can I share?
Please.
Yes.
We had the other day, we dropped off pajamas, 400 pairs of pajamas at a huge nursing home, and I needed some models in different sizes. So this gentleman rolls in, and he's a 4X. He he was goofing around when he was 22, playing in the back of a truck, and kind of jumped and fell and broke his neck. So he has been, he's probably 70. He's been in a wheelchair since he was 22. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. He goes, ma'am, don't feel sorry for me. I am blessed. He goes, and today I'm getting a pair of pajamas.
I love it.
You know, and so it just, we take so much for granted, and we are a selfish society. It is what it is. And just, it helps us sit back and think, okay, where are my priorities?
Right.
You know,
And I can
that's-
imagine for both of you, the success just isn't the number of pajamas you get, but it's the look on their face, or the
It
look on someone when you
Right.
give them a donation.
Absolutely. Well, and for us, when we gas cards are a big ask. We, send it to the patient or client, and we always put a card for them to just tell us, how this has impacted them. And I'm so surprised, and they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I'm like, it's not very much, I don't think, because I wish I could give more, But people are just, they are so appreciative of, things that we can do, and it makes me feel fulfilled that my purpose is this.
That's great.
Yes.
Vision for the future.
I want to be everywhere. I want to be all over the United States. I want there to be, we need to reset, refocus, and take care of our seniors like we do for our kids. You know, when there's a low-income school, PTA gets involved, other communities gets involved, food programs give the kids food to take home on the weekends, or breakfast in the morning, or they give them clothes so they don't look different than everybody else. They give them shoes and coats. Why are we not doing that for our seniors? We need to reset and take care of the people that took care of us.
Great point.
That's just my mission.
No, I agree. I mean, so our mission is basically like you. We want to grow, obviously, I was saying that earlier, but to just have everybody know our name. And so what we do, and, it makes me happy, like when I see people like, oh, I know what you do. And that makes me feel like, hey, my mission's getting out there. People are talking, and we're spreading the word to make a difference.
Mm-hmm. And people have said to me, oh, you're the pajama lady. And I'm
Right.
so honored to be the
It's like
pajama lady.
Marketing
It's
and branding
awesome.
is working.
It is,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's really about the seniors,
Right.
and it's about we forget, where they are. When you have the flu, or you just don't feel good. It's nice, like if your stomach hurts and somebody says, hey, let me fix you some soup.
Right.
But those gift cards are just a way of saying, I care about you.
Right. And selfishly, I feel I can talk about my mom because I miss her dearly. And so my mom always said, Allison, I know you're going to do big things. And I thought, oh, that's great. She inspires me. But I always thought I was going to do it when she was still alive, and not I would do it because of something, and it was a great loss, obviously, but it's brought so much joy to people, and that makes me happy.
That's nice. Okay. How has the charity changed your life personally?
I have so many more friends than I've ever had. I mean, I'm very blessed, and I just feel like I'm serving a purpose. Yes, I mean, my purpose, was always, to be a wife and a mother and a nurse and whatever I did in life, and that was great. But I wanted something that was going to leave a legacy, and I think Helen Lindley will leave a legacy because I would like, when I'm gone, my children to keep it going.
Right.
And so I think that my children definitely will. I mean, my son, who is a survivor, he's been there and done that, so he can be very empathetic.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. It's so fulfilling, and it's a new chapter. I did home care like you for many years, and it's a different hat. It's the nonprofit world is so different than the for-profit.
It is, and that's the thing. Someone says, listen, you've got to think of it as you need to make money. You can't be like,
No, and
lackadaisy. And you catch on. I always tell people, I'm smarter, this year than I was last year, and every year I'm going to get smarter.
I know, and so that's good. And when I met Allison, what was so cool, we're great friends, but she heard about Pajamas for Seniors and called me.
Yeah.
And
love it.
I know, and then we're like, well, let's help each other.
Right.
And
You were so lovely. I'm like, man, she's so cool.
And
So it was
both
great.
of you are so passionate about your day jobs and your philanthropic endeavors. It flows through to that as well.
Right, and I think that, my goal and mission is to help other nonprofits like Pajamas for Seniors and help other organizations, because I'm thinking people bless me and my charity, and I want to bless them in their charity.
Mm-hmm. And I know I've introduced you to other nonprofits, and Adam has as well, and I think it's interesting. It's like birds of a feather flock together, and you share ideas and tools and tactics and fundraising thoughts and marketing ideas,
Right.
and I think it's a nice little community.
Right.
Yeah.
On what worked for you and what
Right.
didn't work, and yes.
Funniest fundraising story.
Well, I would just say more an event. We
Yeah.
were giving pajamas to 4 or 5 churches on Martin Luther King Day. And so we had about 500 pajamas in a Suburban, and we thought, oh, we can do this. There were 4 of us, 4 women, 500 pajamas in a Suburban, and you should have seen us sitting. We were practically falling out of the car. There was no room.
Aw.
So the woman that we were meeting at this church, we were meeting at Concord Church, this sweet little pastor who was going to donate the pajamas, shows up in a tiny little car to get all these pajamas. And we just took pictures of us,
Right.
the old Volkswagen, how many
Right.
people
Yeah.
were piling
Like a
Volkswagen.
clown car.
Yeah, that's what we looked like with our pajamas. But it was so fun. We laughed, and it was
great.
just fun giving back. And
That
doing
is,
something
that's the
special.
thing. It's like, it's not, this isn't work. I mean, it is fun. And I've done some events with you where it is gratifying and fun to give the pajamas out and collect them as well. So very nice. Funny story.
I think kind of a funny story. A couple years ago, we had a fundraiser, and I went to a charity event, and I met one of the ladies there, and we're just chit-chatting. I said, here's my card, call me. She looked up my nonprofit, and she saw that I did it because my son, had cancer, and she saw the type of cancer, which was very rare. And so 20 plus years ago, we went to Philadelphia to see a doctor. So did she, around the same time. So that was just kind of like ironic that we met each other. So she came, she spoke at my nonprofit. Well, my son thought, oh, she's good looking, I can hit on her. And it did not work out. She had a lovely boyfriend, and he was like, okay. I thought we had that bond. And I'm like, I understand you had that bond, but it just didn't work out this way, you
Right.
know?
That's good.
Yes.
Oh, I like that a lot. All right. What keeps you up at night, Allison?
What keeps me up at night is that there will never be enough Heavenly Mimis, no Pajamas for Seniors. There's so many people that need help, and it keeps me up that I won't be able to help everybody I need help, because I don't want to ever turn anybody down, because then that's going to make me feel awful, because I don't want that, that I'm hurting somebody because we can't help them, and we don't want to. It's all about funding, and that's the thing. It's all about the money.
Sure.
Same with us. I mean, we have a list on my computer on a sticky note. I've had to do the front and back of nursing homes that have nothing. They're like, we need pajamas. So I have this list. I'm like, okay, God, please rain pajamas, because we
Right.
want to help. We don't want to say no.
Right.
Right.
And
Right.
it's we want everybody to have a special holiday season.
Sure.
You
Yes.
know, so
So on that note, how can the community get involved?
go to pajamasforseniors.org, make a donation. We will do the shopping for you. There are going to be about 25 locations that you can drop off pajamas. It will be on our website, pajamasforseniors.org.
How can the community get involved with you?
Same thing. Go to our website. We love, donations, one-time donations, monthly donations. We would love people for 2022 to serve on our board. We would like more volunteers, and we would like to be, connected with more people in the community to kind of help us grow our mission. And especially around the holiday season, we have so many influx of people saying, I need assistance with gas cards. So we would love for people to kind of, help us get that before the end of the year.
Great. Joe, what haven't I asked you that I should?
Just how much I appreciate you and your friendship, and Allison, and great minds think alike. We all work together, and our industry, we have a phenomenal industry here in DFW, and I would just love to be that city that people look to. Wow, look at this city. They take care of their seniors. They take care of their victims, the patients of cancer. They take care of their elders, and that's really what I would love to see. That's the goal for me, is that we will be ahead of the game.
Great.
Right. Well, and I think that you are blessed. You got to bless others. You've got to be very I guess, conscience that you're healthy and you got pajamas and I don't have cancer. And so you got to think, I'm very blessed. I've got to bless people because, you know, you just don't know when life is going to throw you that curveball.
Yeah.
So, yes.
What haven't I asked you that I should?
I guess, well, I mean, I guess how many kids I have and how many kids you have. So my husband and I have a 27, 25, 19. Yeah, here we go.
You know, there's a TV in the other room,
yes,
right?
Yes. And then 17 and almost 16. So we're a full house. And
Mercy.
I'm very blessed. Like I said, it's just, I think that, you know, it kind of shifted, you know, when your kids get older, you're like, what's my purpose? And then it just was entangled that, you know, my purpose went from taking my kids to soccer practice to, you know, doing Heavenly Mimi to doing, you know, all my endeavors.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. Very inspiring. All right. That was wonderful. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Let's roll.
Thank
Let's
you.
roll into the nugget portion. I saw this on the internet this week, and it made me think. I was very close with my grandmother, and she would always tell me that she sees my friends driving around the neighborhood, and they always honk and wave at her. So if you'd put up this visual, I can't wait to retire so I can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go drive around really slow and make everybody late for work. They're not doing it intentionally. And I would always tell my grandmother, they're not waving at you, and those aren't my friends. And that's one finger, not five.
Right.
So
Right.
very, very.
You know, my granddad would get stopped a lot by the police because he was driving too slow.
Right.
Yeah, and his answer was, "Officer, I'm just taking my time."
I love it.
I
That's so
know.
funny.
Yeah,
I
there's
know.
no rush. There's
know,
no rush.
there's no
All right,
rush.
ladies, lightning round. This is an opportunity for the viewers to get to know you guys personally.
Okay.
One answer,
Here we go.
one word answers. Are you ready?
Ready.
Where were you born and raised?
Dallas, Texas.
Where were you born and raised?
Dallas, Texas.
College and degree.
I have an LVN. I went to the university in Fort Worth.
I went to LSU, but I graduated in nursing, so I went to Brookhaven College, and I'm a registered nurse.
Nice. Childhood nickname?
Allie.
Joe.
Joe.
Little Joe sometimes.
Oh, nice. Ever lived abroad?
No.
Joe?
Not me either.
First celebrity crush?
Ricky Schroeder. Why are you laughing at that?
Great.
Johnny Osmond. I'm
Nice.
older.
Hello, Johnny
Nice.
Osmond.
Junk food or health nut?
Hi, Health Nut.
Joe,
I think junk.
can you drive a stick shift car?
No.
Yes, learned on it. My very first car was a stick shift.
That a girl. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Joe?
Mountains,
Mountains. Favorite season?
Spring.
fall,
Cake or pie?
Cake.
pie.
Proudest career accomplishment?
I think getting my degree was a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
I think winning D Magazine Excellence in Nursing was pretty cool.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It was
Mazel
very
tov.
cool.
Okay, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, take time, don't sweat the small stuff, and just, enjoy the ride because it happens so quick.
And yeah, I agree. And don't worry about everybody else. You're on your own journey. And if you just stop worrying about stuff that doesn't matter,
Right?
just keep your eye on the prize.
I love it. I love it. I always tell my guests this is not a promotion for your company. Don't self promote. Don't self promote. All bets are off, and I appreciate you guys self promoting because this is what this show is all about. Will you say your URLs one more time so the viewers can dial it up and donate? What is your URL?
HeavenlyMimi.org.
Great, Joe.
Pajamasforseniors.org.
Wonderful. And you can find this podcast anywhere where you find podcasts, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, and anywhere else on the World Wide Web. Thanks for watching. If there's anything I can do for you, please just call me directly.